Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Cougars show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kieran.
And we are back today previewing Game Week 5. Tonight's show will be analysing each upcoming Game Week fixture, predicting the potential key players, differentials, and working out where those clean sheets might come from. We will also be discussing captaincy. It's a bit of a hot topic this week. We will reveal our teams, our planned transfers, as well as our Cougar Cup picks, and also answering some of your questions. So thanks for submitting those. I think, Kieran, let's get right into Game Week 4 recap on our points. It feels like an age ago now, but we should talk about it. How did you get on?
Yeah, it seems like this international break's really dragged on, hasn't it? Yeah, so I got 58 points in the end, which was just above average. But sort of on Twitter and in most of my leagues, it seemed to be quite good actually in the end. So only a small red arrow down to 268k from about 180, I think it was. So yeah, that's not too bad. Captain Sterling fail. Shame, because I keep seeming to do that between Salah and Sterling. Obviously this rotation of captaincy picks seemed like a good idea at the start, and I've just failed on it each time. So hopefully I can get it right this week. Only Sterling and Pookie, and then Ryan obviously in goal against City with the blanks. Oh, Mount as well, but the rest was good. I took a hit, which was Martial out for Mount, who got me obviously 2 points, and then Greenwood got 1 point out for Haller, who was 8. So yeah, Martial and Greenwood combined was 1 point, and Mount and Haller got 10. So -4 net gain of 6 points. So that's good. Hit paying off again there. And then patience with Wilson, continuing to do well with another 5 points. Could have been more if he didn't get a yellow card. Haller should have had another penalty assist. VAR screwing up. I don't know what the hell that was about. It's just an absolutely nailed on penalty. But yeah, the only real issue is no KDB still, and obviously petrified going into this week.
Yeah, he's racking up those points. So I had KDB, I got 57 in the end. Like you, I didn't take a hit this week, but like you, I found I had green arrows in all my mini leagues, but yet my overall rank slipped by quite a bit. I think I'm down at like 700,000 now, 720 something. So my main point scorers were De Bruyne, Sterling, obviously blanked, didn't he? So that was quite a bit of a pain. Mane got me a goal, and it was Trent with that sort of like deflected cross which picked up,
that was the shame, wasn't it? Shame wasn't a goal.
Where most of my points came from. And we were going to line up a show last week and talk about how the Mane and Salah fallout sort of will impact the rest of the game weeks this season, but I think we'll probably get onto that a bit later. Cool. All right. Well, should we just show what happened in the FPL Cougars, FPL Cougar Cubs even, Kieran? Our game week 4 picks.
Yeah. So I picked Emerson, who had Sheffield United at home. Yeah, I would have expected a clean sheet there. I think we all expected a clean sheet, right? Obviously 2.5% owned, and he got 1 point with a yellow card as well, I think it was. Or actually, no, he conceded 2, didn't he? So, and now he's obviously got that yellow flag on him from an international injury. So
you cursed him.
Yeah, sorry everyone. He'll probably just get a haul this week now instead. So 1 point for me. And then you had Joe Linton, which was on paper okay pick against Watford, but yeah, 2 points. So you still beat me, and the month of August I got 6 overall, you got 11, so you've won August.
Yes.
But yeah, the overall whole season is still to play for. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, so
but I'm pleased with that. And who topped the sort of Cougars mini league then?
I have no idea off the top of my head. I can't even see it, but I've got the manager of the week. So Juan Chu. I think his name is Daben, or I'm not sure which one's the name of his team. Anyway, 109 points, no chips played, which is really, really good for that week. When most people are getting it, obviously in the 50s, 40s odd. Game week rank of 1,951 and an overall rank of 179k, up from 3 million. So check that out for a rise.
Wow.
That's mental. And he's 425th in the Cub League. So yeah, gaining some ground there, hasn't he? And then he had 2 blanks overall, which was only Lloris and Coleman. And he had triple Liverpool defence. Sigurdsson finally coming good. Tielemans, KDB, Kane, Vardy, captain, and Abraham. Captain. So yeah, all going right from there. Really nice.
That was fantastic. Yeah, I think we got a shout out to Nasir Al Mutar, who is topping the...
Okay, so you've got it down. That's good.
Yeah, the FPL Cougars mini league with his team Al Rain FC. So he sits overall rank 371 in the world, and he dropped 87 points in game week 4. So Yeah, well done to him.
Nice.
So looking forward to keeping an eye on his progress and the rest of the guys and girls, I think, in the top 10 of the FPL Cougars Mini League. And we'll do that every week, update and see how everyone is getting on.
Yep.
Shall we move on to the fixture preview, Kieran, and start with the big one, Saturday lunchtime?
It's one of the big ones, yeah.
It's one of the big ones. Liverpool against Newcastle at Anfield. There's been such a huge sort of debate this week about captaincy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see this game going? Do you think it is going to be a walk in the park for Liverpool?
I don't know, to be honest. We've seen Newcastle can defend well, haven't we? Sit deep against, obviously, Spurs and kept them... Well, won that game, didn't they?
They did.
And it was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Can they do that against Liverpool? I'd be less inclined to say yes, but, we've seen that they can do it. So I don't know if it'll be a walkover. I think you've got a stat here that says Liverpool scored 2 in their last 13 at least, or 2 at least in the last 13 games, which is obviously great. And I think they've had history against Newcastle scoring 4, 3, and that sort of thing. So, the fixture normally you'd probably say Salah, Mane captain sounds great here, but I don't know. There's a certain City game that's looking good for captaincy as well. So, what do you think on captain wise?
I think it's a difficult one to sort of judge it for this game week, especially with you've got to take into account that Sterling and KDB probably and Aguero sort of City's prime attacking outputs, and they've all played international games.
Aguero hasn't.
Oh, was not Aguero not?
No, he's.
I thought he went to Argentina.
No, I think he's been rested as far as I know.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, maybe Aguero's a better pick than De Bruyne and Sterling. I thought Aguero played in that second game. Okay.
Oh, maybe he did. I don't know.
Well, anyway, De Bruyne and Sterling have played international fixtures. They've racked up a few minutes there. I know it's early season. On the flip side of that, I know Salah and Mane have had the international break off. Firmino has played for Brazil. So I wonder if it does come down a little bit to sort of game management, a little bit for Klopp and Guardiola, especially considering Champions League starts early this week. But really, it's quite early in the season to be worried about rotation. I tend to think that these players will play. And if they come off around 70, 88 minutes, which is even quite unlikely for Pep, in terms of Sterling especially, maybe KDB's minutes will be managed because of his coming back from a sort of short season last season. Yeah, I think, but both on paper, both fixtures do look very good.
I think, Salah's probably nailed to play 90. He doesn't really get rested, does he? Unless he's having really a poor game, then he'll get taken off. But no, I think Salah plays 90, and I imagine Mane does as well. So with those two captain options, you don't really have to worry about this sort of rotation with sort of Pep. So yeah, it's between Salah and Sterling. Definitely out of the best options, I think, as most people have. But anyway, so Liverpool have got obviously Newcastle home this week. They've got Chelsea away next, which is obviously a good fixture considering Chelsea's form of conceding goals at the moment. Then Sheffield United away and then Leicester at home. So the next 4 are decent, and then after that they've got a few trickier sort of away top 6 games. So they'll be difficult. But it's Liverpool, it's Salah, it's Mane that they're going to continue to score points. So I know people are starting to think about maybe trading Salah out so you can get triple City attack, or you can get Pepe or Son or something like that. And sounds good on paper with the tricky fixtures, but are Liverpool fixture proof? Probably. So I mean, although Salah didn't really do that well against the top 6 last year, did he? So yeah. Their XGC for Liverpool has improved a lot since Matic's come back. They're third best now over 4 weeks. It's 4.26 over the 4 weeks. So they're 6th highest team for shots conceded, which is worrying for the double up, obviously, and the 5th highest for on targets conceded shots. So although they are improving, still slightly worried. But Newcastle have got one of the worst XGs in the league. So I'm hopeful of a double, if anyone has a triple of a clean sheet for Liverpool here.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, sort of looking a bit more long term than this. So let's take the next 4 game weeks. So I've got 2 transfers this week, and I've been brewing over a lot of decisions. And Matip's come into my thinking a little bit because, like you say, he started the last 3. I think just because he probably didn't start the Community Shield in Game Week 1 because of the international break. But he's come into the side. He looks like he's got his place back. Compared to VVD, he doesn't seem like... he will get chances. Headers in the box probably is bread and butter. But I don't think he's the sort of defender that's going to pick up any bonus, because I think bonus is going to go to the attacking players in the Liverpool team. So really, I think all you're hoping for him are those clean sheet points. But I don't know whether right now is the time to double up in Liverpool defence. Like you say, I think this Newcastle fixture is probably their best chance of a clean sheet in maybe the next 4. I think Chelsea have looked really exciting going forward. I think that maybe that Sheffield United game actually might be another one there. But then they've got Leicester at home, and I think Leicester have looked good this season. Longer term thinking, when you've got like a sort of a bit more money invested in that Liverpool back line, have you wavered at all on doubling up there?
I've thought about it just to be able to try and get KDB in. I thought about downgrading Van Dijk, but I was looking at Matip instead of him, so I don't mind the double up still. I think triple up on Liverpool was probably still essential. Same with City, even though I don't have that. And it's easier to get 2 defenders from Liverpool than it is Mane and Salah / Salah Firmino. So, you say they're hard chances for clean sheets, but they could get them at the same time. They've got the best odds for clean sheet this week, and Chelsea away obviously might be difficult, but the other 2 they can definitely do it. So yeah.
What do we think about Mane versus Salah then? So they had that Mane sort of blew up, didn't he? The end of Game Week 4 when he was subbed against Burnley. I had a quick look at the stats and I included some. So that I took this sort of per 90 minute average, because obviously Mane didn't play all of Game Week 1. So Salah is pretty much crushing Mane. Well, not crushing, but he's better than Mane in shots in the box, shots on target, and big chances. So he beats him in all of those categories. He isn't creating as many big chances, which isn't really that much of a surprise considering how long he held onto the ball in that game against Burnley. I think he's like 3 times worse than Mane in terms of big chances created for any of his teammates. I couldn't find any direct stats for not passing Mane the ball. But do you think that sort of moment, let's say, Klopp and a lot of the other Liverpool teammates, I think Milner played it down on social media as well. But do you think that's sort of going to have any impact on the Salah-Mane relationship? You and I have been saying for seasons, when we both owned Salah, or when we both had Mane back in the last season, that you can clearly tell that there's sort of direct inter-team competition there.
Yep.
But from my point of view, if that was City going through and against Burnley, that was Sterling and Aguero next to each other, I'm sure there'll be a pass played and a goal scored. And I wonder whether, I don't know, that's something that Salah or Klopp or Liverpool as a team have sort of considered, especially when it blows over like that in public. Do you think you're going to see more of a assisting Salah over the next 4 game weeks? I'm definitely going to watch his sort of key passes and big chances created rate in the next 4 to see how they compare to this previous 4.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. In my opinion, Mane's probably a bit more egotistical in a way. I think Mane is more likely to, if they've talked about it, not pass still. But I think Salah has probably got more of a level head to him and probably would pass. His assists like last year were way over Mane's, weren't they? I think Mane got 1 all year. So I think historically that sounds about right. That Mane is more likely to not pass than Salah is, so he didn't really have that much right to be annoyed at him, to be honest. Salah has every reason to try and go for goal when they were already 3-0 up or something. So
I think it was.
Was it really that much of an issue, to be honest? Just trying to get a tap in, which means nothing at the end of the day. Just something to look at, I suppose. That's why owning both of them last year was nice, because when one of them didn't do well, the other one seemed to. So you kind of had a full something to fall on. But if you've got one of them, keep them. I wouldn't say chop and change.
No. Well, as I told you last week, I traded Mane in for Salah on the wild card for game week 3. So I think I haven't actually counted up the exact points, but I think Mane got 8 and 3, didn't he? 11. Salah got like 16 and 6. So he's down by about 11 points. I'm probably not likely to get Mane or potentially get Salah back in for another 2 game weeks. I'm going to see how it goes a little bit longer. But the more you look at the stats and the more games you see, you sort of think that it seems a mistake in hindsight to move away from Salah, especially when he's greedy like that.
I mean, yeah, Salah's first for XG across every player, so he's first for big chances. So yeah, he's in the right positions to get the goals, isn't he? So exactly. And they're going to be coming. Probably Newcastle will probably get a brace or a goal and assist or something like that. And we might be ruined not captaining him, but we'll see.
No, I know it's been so much talk about Man City in the easier game against Norwich, but I mean Salah's had the rest, lunchtime kickoff, and I just feel like it could be a good start to someone's weekend. Anyway, shall I mention a little bit about Newcastle? Yep. I mean, there isn't a whole heap to say because they played 3 of last season's top 6 in the next 5. Can't see much happening at Anfield for them. They haven't scored in the last 2 visits. They played well in that game against Spurs, which you mentioned earlier. But we've had a few people ask us about Shah on YouTube comments. Is he a good game week or good differential? And I'd say no.
No.
A big no. He's 5 million. He scored that goal against Watford, but I mean, that's when Watford were like at their lowest ebb last weekend. In game week 4. So, with these fixtures coming up, Liverpool away, Leicester away, Chelsea away, and that Man United at home, Shah's not good. And Joel Linton as well. I was having a look at his stats. He had 2 at home against Watford. He's actually had the most shots of a 6.5 million or less striker in the first 4 game weeks, and 8 of those were in the box. So that's actually really good numbers. But the fact that, he was only drawing 2 at home against Watford in a game which you'd expect him, well, like I expected my Cougar Cup picks, him to pick up some attacking returns, was a bit worrying. So the only fixtures I sort of see as a good one for Newcastle in the next 5 is that home game against Brighton in game week 6. So, not interested in Newcastle at the moment.
Yeah, if Shah was 4.5, might be a good bench option, but 5 is too much. Just a quick thing, Moshi Ash on Twitter asked us Trent versus Robbo, and I think Trent comes out on top of all the key stats apart from shots, which is 5 versus 6. So Trent obviously looks like the best option, but Robertson's he's only just behind Robbo most of the stats. So behind Trent, sorry. And Robbie's gone down to 6.9, so and Trent's gone up, so the 0.2 saving, worth it. And the points are going to even out across the year. To be honest, Trent will maybe outscore him by 15 points, I would say, something like that. So Robbo's fine if you've got him, and if you're wanting to get one of them in, Robbo's still a perfectly good option.
No, I like it. All right, well, should we move on to one of the 3 p.m. fixtures, Brighton against Burnley?
Yeah, we talked about that one for a while. So
yeah, that's good though. It's Liverpool, Kieran.
It is. Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to cover there. Let's start by talking about Burnley, the away team in this one. It's their fixtures which has got me really excited. So they play one top 6 side between game week 5 and game week 14, and I believe that is Chelsea at home in game week 9 or 10. So I think of all the teams in the Premier League, Burnley have definitely the best fixtures over the next 4. So they've got Brighton away, Norwich at home, Villa away, Everton at home. So cracking run of fixtures there. Barnes is 6-7 now. He's so hard for me to ignore. I probably should have gone on the wild cards. I've not had him for the last 2 weeks, but he's definitely coming in for me this game week. Ooh. He's a little bit of I want to maybe hopefully get some people to give me some feedback on why he doesn't play the full 90 minutes. I'm sure maybe we've got a Burnley fan watching who can explain that. So he's only completed 90 minutes once this season, so that is a bit unusual that he's coming off sort of like 70, 80th minutes. But of all forwards under 7.5 million, I had a little look. So he's the highest for shots with 14. He's second for shots in the box to Pukki, where he's 11 to 13. And he's second for big chances to Haller, which is 3 to 4 after the first 4 game weeks. So I think he's looking really good. He's got the fixtures to smash it up, let's say. And I'm quite excited to get on to finally have Ashley Barnes.
I mean, you've always said you loathe having a Burnley attacker.
I do. Yeah. Now I'm going to change.
I don't know. I like him, but there's just something about me. It's just the Burnley aspect to them that I just fancy them not scoring enough. So I think I'm probably avoiding.
Oh, but Kieran, it's Ashley Barnes.
Yeah, I just think there's better options still. Pukki still has great fixtures, and I prefer Haller to him. So yeah,
that's fair enough. Well, if you also another person I think it's worth mentioning from their defensive point of view. I mean, quite a lot of people seem to have Pope now, like myself. But if you don't fancy Pope, if you don't fancy Pope, I think Loughton is a really interesting option at 4-5 for this run of games. Especially, he's quite a sneaky differential there. He's not owned by many players. Sort of crosses. Burnley's bread and butter I've got written down here, and Loughton is getting further forward and putting in more balls to the box than Peters. So I think he's made 14 crosses so far this season to Peters' 5. And he's had 51 touches in the final third too, which is more than any Burnley defender. So that's pretty decent. I think he's Don't be fooled by Peters' 2 sort of assists. I think he had 2 assists in game week 1. I think stats show he's sort of he was almost a bit lucky to get those 2 really. And going forward, it looks like Loughton is a potentially more reliable source of attacking returns.
Yep. So on the Brighton side, next 2 fixtures are good. The 2 afterwards are bad. They obviously got Burnley at home, which you'd fancy maybe a clean sheet. Obviously, you don't fancy that, but then Newcastle away, possibly clean sheets there, possibly goals. Chelsea away, tough, and then Tottenham at home is obviously tough as well. But one player I wanted to point out was Montoya, who's actually looked quite good across the 4 weeks. He's been playing out of position wing back, hasn't he? And he's often the highest player going forward, whipping in crosses. And he's nailed on, played the full 360 minutes so far. And he's 0.9% owned. So
that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, in their new attacking system, Montoya, major differential. Why not? To be honest, if you've got that sort of 4.5 million defender that you're trying to fit in your squad, then he seems like a good option. I mean, he's 17th overall for defenders for XA, which is 0.51. I mean, across all defenders for a Brighton, wing back, that's not too bad. 3 key passes, 8 crosses, and if he's getting the crosses in, like 50% of them have been successful. So there's a big chance to be created there. I quite like him. I would look at him on wildcard possibly because their fixtures aren't too bad. Someone to look at.
Yeah, I like him. I really like Trossard as well because, Martial's been burning up my team with that golden injury flag for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Trossard is like a potential high point or high on my list of replacements. What do you think of him? You like Trossard?
He passes the eye test, doesn't he? And he could have scored against City. Did he hit the bar or something? Am I right in saying that?
He had 2 big chances. Yeah,
and then they had a chance cleared off the line by Edison. Really good save. If he got that, then everyone would be looking at him still. Then like I said, the next 2 fixtures are decent for him. Assuming he continues to play, then 0.8% owned. So worth a look. I guess most people are looking towards Mount at that sort of price now. Most people are looking towards James as well now because he's the new shiny thing who's scoring goals. So maybe he's getting a little bit overlooked compared to others.
Yeah, the reason I quite like him is I've got my eye on Mason Mount from game week 7, and especially if Martial's out, that feels like that midfield spot prime. But I don't want to jump onto Mount for the next 2 sort of fixtures because they've got Wolves and who else have they got? Wolves and Liverpool. And I just feel like Trossard could be like a really nice intermediate for those 2 fixtures if Martial's out before bringing in Mount long term. So he's one I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Any more to add on Brighton?
No, let's move on.
Okay, all right.
I've got other things, but let's move on.
All right, we got United against Leicester, 3 p.m. Old Trafford. I think it's the game between the teams with the lowest expected goals conceded rate, isn't it? So we're expecting a 0-0 draw in this one.
I mean, you wouldn't expect that, to be honest, but from the stats, then maybe, yeah.
Which way do you see this one going?
I mean, United historically, over at least the last few sort of meetings, that have seemed to have Leicester's, wire or whatever. They seem to be able to beat them all the time. So I don't know. I see Man United winning maybe 2-0.
Okay.
That might surprise some people, but I can see a Man United sort of comeback resurgence after everyone thinks they're absolutely terrible. Yeah, I can see United win here.
So how's your anti-Rashford rhetoric coming along? Because you were slagging him off. He obviously got displaced from the England side for Jadon Sancho, which means he's going to be fresh for this Leicester game. What have you thought about his sort of start to the season? Because he looked good in game week 1 with those 2 goals.
Yep.
It looked like he was on penalties, tidy finish against Chelsea. He's sort of gone off the boil somewhat since then. He missed that penalty against Palace. Yeah, where are you on him at the moment?
I mean, weirdly, he has the 3rd best XG in the whole game of 3.09 over 4 weeks. So, but he's obviously only scored 2 goals, and his XG is skewed by the 2 penalties being big chances.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to be honest, he's not looks great to me. I think he looked poor against Southampton. And yeah, I wouldn't be looking at him anytime soon. I don't think their attackers look great. I think James is probably a better option. Martial's supposed to be fit, so yeah, he's probably a better option than Rashford as well. And who knows who's going to take the next penalty. So if he was definitely nailed on penalties, I think he'd be more of an option. But at this time, with their fixtures looking kind of difficult, yeah, not for me.
No, that's fair enough. What about on the lesser side in terms of attackers? Is Vardy sort of piqued your interest somewhat? I mean, since Brendan took over, I think he's got the most goals of any Premier League player. 6 shots. I mean, his stats are just incredible because he's just so lethal. He's had 6 shots. The 4 of them were big chances, and he scored 3 of them. And he's picked up a single assist from the big chance he created. So I mean, yeah, he doesn't look great on the stats, but yeah, the numbers are undeniable when he picks up the goals.
Yeah, I think if anyone had him from the start and kept hold of him, they would have been laughing recently. Because I think a lot of people after the first 2 weeks were probably getting rid of him for Pookie or stuff like that. But yeah, I possibly even look at him on wildcard. Their fixtures are difficult, but we know that they like the counter-attack, so Vardy's probably got some goals in these games. Yeah, I like him. He's tried and trusted, isn't he? So yeah, not much more to say on that. He's a good option.
I think Leicester, sort of moving on from this game, have got a really difficult run coming along, which is a shame because the sort of players in there with Vardy and Maddison and Tielemans that I am interested in, but I think their fixtures are too tricky for me to invest at this moment. I think they play 3 of last year's top 6 in the next 4, so that is a really. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they'll have a decent day against United. I can't see it being a shutout for United, so I think there'll be some returns there. But you really need the fixtures to really be sure of bringing in a player for this run. I actually did a bit of a comparison between Maddison and Tielemans, and I think Maddison is killing it for shots this season. He's had 13 or 14 shots, but I don't think he's hit any on target at the moment, which I thought was quite a surprise. And he's had I think less than half of those in the box, maybe 6 shots in the box this season. So for 7 million, although he passes the eye test, he just looks so silky, doesn't he? Especially when he's on those corners and free kicks. But yeah, I can't invest in him at that price at the moment. Have you got a preference in that Leicester midfield?
Perez? No, I'm kidding. Probably Maddison out of the 2. Yeah, he's going to get shots on target eventually, isn't he? And yeah, weirdly, he didn't get any minutes for England, which I feel is a bit of a shame. But yeah, he's rested, so he should be coming into this game fresh and want to prove everyone wrong. He looked great in his first game ever in the Premier League against United on the first fixture last year. And yeah, so maybe he can score like he didn't last time, but yeah, we'll see.
Do we want to move on to Sheffield United Southampton?
I just want to talk about VVD versus Maguire here as well. Okay. So big hulking dominant centre-backs, I suppose. So everyone thinks United's defence is going to be terrible, but their XGC is second behind Leicester, isn't it? So 3.88.
Yep.
And so Maguire compared to VVD. So yeah, shots for VVD 3. This is obviously attacking because you can't really compare like defensive stats really. But shots for 3 for VVD and 1 for Maguire. An XG of 0.21 for VVD, 0.19 for Maguire. So there's barely anything in that. Yep. An XA of 0.09 for Van Dijk and a 0.57 for Maguire, which is massive compared. And then baseline bonus of 77 versus 79. So if you consider the XGC or expected goals conceded for Liverpool is higher than Man United's overall as a team, Maguire probably comes out on top as a better pick, right? He's $1 million cheaper. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can go by stats and say he's a better pick. Overall, maybe not. Like VVD's ownership is 50%, but why are we spending $1 million more for a team that's maybe going to concede more than Man United? You know, so United have been conceding, but the stats tell you that there's clean sheets coming. I don't think they're as bad as everyone thinks, and Wan-Bissaka's got this injury and everyone's getting rid of him. So yeah, I don't think it's jumped ship completely of United yet.
No, it's an interesting point. I hadn't really considered the difference between Van Dijk and Maguire. I mean, you're right. I think what makes it so difficult is just looking past, or trying to look past what Liverpool did last season, and what Van Dijk did, especially last season. I think he scored 4 goals and 1 assist last season. And the fact that their defence is so good, with Robertson,
But
Trent,
is it so
all
good?
matter. Well, I think it has the potential. Well, we've seen last season. It has. I mean, again, it's last season. We've seen that they can pull out like a 20 or 21 clean sheets, or 21 or 22, however many it was, clean sheets a season. And until Ollie can sort out that United defence, I think Lindelof's been a bit of a problem. Shaw's obviously been out, got an injury. Young came in. If Wan-Bissaka's
I
out,
forgot about Young. Yeah.
so I feel like it already looks like it's patched up. And while sort of Maguire and United stats may be good, it doesn't deny the fact they've still conceded some sloppy goals against Palace and even De Gea for that second Van Aanholt shot. So it's interesting when you look into the stats like that, but I wonder if that's more of like an eye test one.
I mean, yeah, eye test wise, you think, nah, maybe not. But yeah, I think there's probably a goal or an assist coming from Maguire at least. So yeah, it depends if you're on him when it does come.
Yeah. All right. Well, 3:00 then. Further away, we've got two S's going against each other. We've got Sheffield United against Southampton. I'm really keen on starting Lundstram this week. He's in my team at the moment instead of Wan-Bissaka. Even if Wan-Bissaka's, I haven't quite decided what I want to do with him yet. I'm probably just going to leave him bench because I think Leicester are a bit of a better attacking outlet than Southampton are. So I think it's more likely there's a clean sheet there and also potential returns. Attacking wise, it looks like Redmond's still expected to be out with that ankle knock. The only sort of player I would sort of recommend from the Southampton side of things at the moment is Gunn. I actually quite like him as an alternate to Pope. He picked up a bonus in that 1-1 draw with United last time out. He's got the fourth most saves in the league after 4 game weeks. He's actually, Saints have conceded the most shots on target of any team in the league as well. So they conceded 21 after 4 game weeks, and that's despite not playing Man City, which was quite a surprise. They just played Liverpool in game week 2. So I expect if they continue on that trend and their defence is set up where they allow shots, I think Gunn's got a good chance of racking up those save points. And if you're getting save points, you usually get bonus points with a goalkeeper in a team like Southampton who aren't going to score loads to warrant players getting bonus further up the field. So yeah, I think Southampton and Gunn especially is one to watch. So their fixtures over the next maybe the next 4 are a little bit tough. So they've got Sheffield United, then Bournemouth, Tottenham and Chelsea. But I think the bigger teams there, the Tottenham and Chelsea, where he's going to rack up those save points. So yeah, someone on a wild card, Gunn could be an option.
Yeah, I like him. I'm probably priced out of Pope. It says weird to say I'm priced out of Pope, but I'd rather not spend that 0.1 more for a keeper. And Gunn, looks like he's probably going to closely match him.
Yeah, I think he will.
So yeah, fine with that.
What do you think about Sheffield United then coming up?
Okay, so their fixtures are bad, obviously, but obviously they're probably going to look for a clean sheet in this one. The next 3 after that are tough. But yeah, they're 4th overall for XGC, 4.26 across 4 weeks. Yeah, which for a promoted team coming out of the Championship who's made no real additions to their defence have the same expected clean sheets over 4 weeks. As well, pretty much the same as Liverpool and Man City, which is mental if you think about it. They're like 2 best teams in England by far, and they have the same expected clean sheets over 4 weeks as those two. Sheffield United, I mean, what the hell? So Lundstram to start him this week is definitely an option. I would like to start him, but I don't know who to bench this week. Wow. Yeah, if you've got him, definitely play him, and if you can. I like their chances. Like you said, Southampton's XG is poor, and I can't really see anything but a clean sheet, really.
Well, we actually had an interesting question in from Jake Seddon on YouTube, who said, "Is Lundstram a better option over Pukki this week, even with a weakened City defensive line?" And I saw you were sort of engaged in a bit of conversation with people on Twitter about this, but I'd thought the same thing. Maybe I could do a bench in Pukki this weekend. And
I thought about it as well, but I
is it the ownership that scares you rather than the potential points?
Not. I don't know. Just like I would prefer to, back the striker who's
okay.
Sheffield United are promising clean sheets, but they've only kept 1. And Pukki has scored 2 goals in international break, continuing his form. No Laporte. Otamendi and Stones, I guess, back there, who we've seen can make mistakes.
Do you think? I wonder if they're going to play Fernandinho back there, but yeah.
Maybe, but I think Stones is fit again, isn't he? So, I just fancy Pookie to maybe get. Well, if they're going to score, he'll be involved, won't they? Because everything goes through him. So, I think it's a late minute decision. But I think if I bench him and Lundstrom concedes and then Pookie does something, I'll be absolutely killing myself about it. I'll be so annoyed. So I'm just going to play him, even though he's against Zinchenko. Zinchenko could get something. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Robinson? Because I see you've got his name written down in the stats for Sheffield United. Yeah,
I know lots of people punted on him, didn't they? Well, maybe not lots, but some did. And I know a lot have lost patience by now. Obviously, got a goal and assist versus Chelsea. I can't really say anyone expected that to happen. 11-point haul. His fixtures are obviously pretty bad coming up, but if you still have him, he's got a yellow flag at the moment, but I'd keep him possibly for this game. Southampton's don't look great defensively, so he could be in for another goal.
All right. Should we move on to the game at the top? Why have I blanked on the Spurs new stadium? Is it called the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
It's just that. Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, good. All right, but it's boring. Yeah. Anyway, they've got a home game coming up against Crystal Palace. It's funny. I think I look at the Spurs fixtures and I think that looks really great. I need to get in. Surely there's a source of points there, but none of their assets are really like screaming out by me. And it's a shame, really, because I mean, there's Son could be an option, Kane could be an option, but I don't know about them at the moment. It's strange when usually in previous seasons I'd be all over them with this sort of fixture run, but their sort of starts of the season they've looked a bit suspect in some games, and until that sort of goes away, I'm a little bit reluctant to get on them.
Yeah, I agree. And Crystal Palace have only scored let in 2 goals all season, which is the best of all the league, and so obviously defensively, which you kind of wouldn't expect after they lost to Sheffield United. It looks really good. I mean, Kane has been stat pad in an international break, hasn't he? With 2 penalties, and I think did he score 4 goals over the international break and like 2 assists or something? So that's pretty good. But 2 penalties, 1 missed actually, which is surprising for him. But still not convinced by Kane. His heat map is basically halfway line, which is not great for him. He's Kane, the DM. Not great. That's not what we want for an 11 million player. It's just penalty takers. We're not picking Milivojevic at 6 million-ish for being a penalty taker. So why should we pick Kane at 11 million? Until he's doing more, then I'm not interested. Son has looked good versus Arsenal. Lamella's still a little bit of an under-radar good pick, I think, this week. I would imagine a Spurs win, but maybe not by much. What do you reckon?
I think Palace have notoriously not had a good record away against Tottenham. So I had to look back at their previous 2, and they've not scored in either of their last 2 away games against Spurs. Now, despite them being good against other top 6 sides, it seems they haven't quite got over the line against Spurs. But like you say, their defensive record looks good so far this season. So only 11 shots on target conceded, which is the best in the league. And after Tottenham, they actually have 3 good games with Wolves at home, who'll be playing after Europa League game, I believe. Norwich at home, and then West Ham away. So I think I'm kind of interested in watching this game from a Palace perspective, if that makes sense, and seeing if there could be any value emerging there. I think maybe someone like Joel Ward at 4.5 could be a decent option. I need more from Zaha though, Keek. I need a lot more from him. I was having a look at how he did against Villa. 2 shots, both blocked. 1 shot on target from only 6 shots taken this season. No big chances created, and I think he's had 1 shot on target, he's had 1 fewer shots on target than Townsend. So I've got down here, avoid for now. I don't know what's up with Zaha at the start of this season.
I can't wait for him to be an option, 7 million, he's going to be an option eventually, because he'll start getting at some point. So, it's just another person to put in that pool of players eventually. And like you said, after this one, if he shows anything, those 3 good fixtures afterwards is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, but it's funny though. I just had a little look. So they have a batch. So they have that Wolves, Norwich, and then West Ham game. But straight after that, they have City and then Arsenal. So they've really got sort of like 3 good games sandwiched by sort of like...
Well, they beat City last year, right? So
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and Arsenal, is it away, did you say?
The City game's at home, and I think the Arsenal game is away.
Okay, so all right, so Emirates is pretty good for them defensively, but they're not a good defensive team in general, so I don't see why they can't do anything there. And Zaha wanted to go there, didn't he? So might be looking to put himself back in the shopping window for January, possibly, and try and prove to Emery that he really wants him. So that's something to think about as well.
Well, I just want an excuse to maybe even consider him as an option, because at the moment it's Ayew who's doing everything for Palace. How is that happening? I actually had a look at how they've been playing the last couple of games. So he has actually taken over from Benteke in that central striking role now. I've got written down here 2 goals. What the heck is my thing? Because
anyone's better than Benteke. It's simple as that.
Yeah, incredible. So 5.1 million, 2 goals in 2. He's nearly played 90 minutes in both games. But I compared him to all the other 6 million or less forwards, and he is so poor. It's unbelievable. He's just like bang average, and there's players outperforming him left, right, and centre. I think the most interesting thing, he's had 5 total shots with 3 on target. But I mean, Palace don't score a bucket load of goals, and I don't think you'd ever start Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, I think we both got him last year, right? When he was,
I had him when he played for Swansea.
I swear we both got him last year as well, when he was like 4.5 playing for Palace.
Maybe no, I don't.
No, okay. Well, I remember getting him, and he did nothing because he did something like this, got 2 goals in 2 or something, and then everyone bought him in because he was playing and he was cheap, and then he continued to blank for ages. So that's probably just what's going to happen again. Yeah. Ayew is trash, just like Benteke. So let Zaha please start performing, and then we can get you.
Right, should we move on to Chelsea then, who were playing away against Wolves? Now, I'd said to you before the international break I was going to keep Jota for this Chelsea game, and I've just decided, what am I thinking? I just got to get rid of him. That's for Barnes, is it? He's going to score. He's going to score this weekend. I know it because he's had a break. He's not had to play in Europa League, and all the returns he's got in the Europa League, he's now going to stack up against that Chelsea defence. But I can't bring myself to do it. I've got to change him out.
Does he get called up for Portugal yet or not?
I don't think he has. No,
right.
I haven't double checked that, but I don't think so, because I think I would have heard about it. Anyway, Wolves upcoming fixtures you've got here, they're getting better.
Yeah, Chelsea at home obviously not great, but Chelsea are conceding bucket loads at the moment. But Crystal Palace away, like you said, Palace are doing well at the moment. Watford at home. Maybe they get a new manager bounce, who knows? But that could be a good game. And then Man City away, obviously tough, but they've matched up well against City before in the past. So those 2 in between Chelsea and City possibly worth targeting. I can't really say keep Jota or anything, but Jimenez has looked okay. He's played all but 1 minute so far in the campaign, so he's nailed and barely rotated despite Europa League, and he's played most of the minutes in Europa as well. So Jimenez could be this year's Jimenez, or last year's Jimenez, sorry. So I did a little comparison of Haller, Jimenez and Abraham, 7.2 to 7.5 million price forwards. Yeah. So Jimmy doesn't win in any of the big key stats. So shots, he's below Haller at 9, and Abraham's got 11, Jimmy's got 10. Big chances, Haller's got 4, Jimmy's got 2 versus Abraham's 3. And then goals is in favour of Haller, and then Jimmy's got 2, Abraham 4. But Jimmy's fixtures, they're okay at those 2 after Chelsea, and we've seen his score against Chelsea before. He's probably could turn into a differential soon. I've not looked at his TSB, but we've seen he can do it. I like him as a player. He passes the eye test most of the time. So in the future, he's someone to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Bolly's the one from Wolves who who passed the eye test for me, and also the baseline bonus. I mean, he's just been like a monster this season, racking up bonus points. He got his head on the end of that cross for Jimenez's assist, wasn't it, against Everton? I think it was.
Yeah.
I quite like Bolly. Obviously, he got the red card in that Everton game, but it'd be a couple of weeks before I consider him. But I think he's one to watch. He doesn't seem to be affected by the rotation that Nuno's doing for the Europa League. So.
Yeah, back on Jimenez a second. We just want to see the Jimenez goal, Jota assist. Like, as soon as we start seeing that combo again fairly often, then you can get back on it, just like Wilson and Fraser. So true. Those two combos have sort of failed a little bit so far this year, but I'm sure they'll come back to the fore.
Do you know what could be a good combo, Kieran, for the Chelsea team?
Abraham Mount.
Exactly, Abraham Mount. Yeah. I wanted to pick your brains on the Mount thing because I had a look into his stats. So he's got them. Okay, so take this into account. You've probably seen these numbers as well because I put them out on Twitter. So the most shots in the box, 7 of all midfielders after 4 games. Most shots on target after 4 games was 7. Only 5 have been in the box, which is the same as players like Almirian, Lanzini, Harry Wilson. He's had 10 penalty area touches, which explains why most of his shots are from outside. And he's averaging 2.5 penalty area touches per game, which is the same as Cantwell, Harvey Barnes, and McGinn, to name a few. So my question really is, I know he's about 6'3", 6'4" now, and he's in your team, but do you worry about the consistency of his output? I mean, he scored in back-to-back games, didn't he, against Leicester and promoted side Norwich. How do you feel heading into these Wolves and Chelsea game with him? Is he a bit of an unknown in your squad compared to the rest of them?
I mean, he's certainly someone that I could get rid of for someone like KDB if I find the funds. But I still kind of like him. Wolves away, he can definitely get a goal there. I don't see why not. Wolves are still conceding at the moment. So Liverpool at home, obviously tough. Not expecting too much there. But he's still 6'3" or whatever you said million.
I think he's 6'4".
And he's 6'4". And he's not really expected to get a return every single game. So... I mean, his run after that from Game Week 7, as you said, is amazing, really which good. Is Brighton at home, Southampton away, Newcastle at home, Burnley away, like Watford away, Crystal Palace at home. Those 6-7 fixtures are fantastic. So I would like to keep hold of him if I can, because he looks like he's pretty much nailed on. I guess we have to see what happens when Europa starts for them. Who's rotated, but for the time being, we think he's nailed on, and hopefully he can get something from this Wolves game before maybe I ship him out for KDB next week.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be one to watch in the Europa League games. A little bit like Abraham, because if those two get rested for the first sort of group stage game of the Europa League, that would make me think Lampard's season as definite first teamers. Yeah,
I think Giroud probably will be the Europa striker again. So Abraham's probably on for Prem striker role.
And he's looking really good at the moment. Fair play to anyone that picked him up after the Norwich game. He's picked up those 2 goals in the game against Sheffield United. 4 goals in 2 games, but both against promoted sides. That's sort of a bit of a question mark for me. How will he continue? Because he didn't look so hot in the first 2 games of the season. It looks like he's had same number of shots in the box this season as Kane and Aubameyang, both with 9, and he's 5th best of all strikers for shots on target 2. But generally, looking at his stats as like a complete piece, it looks like Barnes and Pukki are outperforming him for slightly cheaper. But I would think that if he continues to start for Chelsea and with players coming back, he's going to get more opportunities than the aforementioned Barnes and Pukki to add to his tally. So I quite like Abraham at that price.
Yeah, I don't fully trust him yet. Need to see a little bit more before I'm tempted.
Yeah. Chelsea's defence, before we just mention this quickly before we move on. So they're 3rd best for shots in box conceded this season. However, no clean sheets yet. So I feel like they've been a bit unlucky and been on the end of that sort of spanking in the game week 1. But I think it seems to be they just get a bit burnt out in the second half of games. Yep. And they just get a bit run wild. Also, if they sort that out, could be some clean sheets in line for them. Right then, the exciting one, Saturday night, Norwich against Man City. What have you got to tell me about Norwich, Kieran?
I mean, not too much really. I mean, their team stats are XG of 5.27 over 4 weeks, which is 10th, middle of the road, and XGC of expected goals conceded of 7.43, which is 19th, which is obviously saying, their defence is pretty terrible. And then Zimmerman injured, not sure how serious that might be. Defence could be even worse. So I think their first 4 starters are out at the moment. I think Godfrey's the only one that's possibly going to play.
And how old's he?
I don't know. And then so there's 3 other players who are just going to come in that we don't really know anything about. Who, are they going to be liable to be any good? Who knows? Man City are probably going to get 9-0, something like that, right? Get people talking about the record of the most goals scored in one game. Maybe the only good factor is that it's away from home. Norwich might be able to. Yeah. I don't know. No, they can't park a bus. I'm trying to say they could park a bus, but they can't.
They won't park the... Yeah, it's not in there. Can you imagine if this was a home game for City at this stage of the season? With these injuries.
Yeah. It's why I'm petrified of this week, because I only own Sterling for them from City attack, and it's just I'm so worried. Yeah, that 19th for expected goals. I mean, they've conceded like more than they apparently should do, or less than they should do, or something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So, what do you think goal wise is going to be 3-4-0, 5-0, or just...
Well, I think the fact they're trying to think about what's a similar games. They put 3 past Bournemouth, didn't they?
Who, City or?
Yeah, City did. Yeah, in their last away game, and then they put 5 past West Ham in their last away game. So their scoring rate doesn't seem to decrease on the road.
No.
So the fact they've scored 5 and 3, I'd sort of say they'd score a similar amount against Norwich, who would be on paper worse than those two teams.
Yeah, I'd say West Ham and Bournemouth probably got better defences. So
I don't know. So maybe something around. I expect 3 goals minimum.
Yeah.
I expect 3. I mean, but who knows? I mean, David Silva's the one that surprised us both a little bit. So he's 7.4 million now. He's played 260 minutes. Sorry, 260 games. 260 minutes. This
probably
season.
Has played that many games.
Yeah, he probably has. Yeah. But he's created 3 big chances so far this season. Only KDB with more, and I think he's got 2 back-to-back double-digit returns. So I think there's options. Or there's different ways for City to rack up these points, so maybe you don't need to be so scared about De Bruyne. I'm trying to give you a bit of a silver lining here.
Is David Silva plus 2.5 million? Is that enough? I'm not sure Silva can cover him. He has in the last few, but I don't know if he will long term. KDB's probably on for the 220 plus points, maybe.
Yeah.
Assuming he stays fit. So David Silva will get nowhere near that. So yeah, short term maybe Silva can, but who knows? Yeah, I'm just generally worried. KDB's looked so good so far. He's got 1 goal, 3 assists in the game for Belgium this week.
Yeah.
Top for big chances created. If there's going to be goals, KDB's probably going to be the one that's assisting pretty much all of them, you'd expect. So I think if you have Sterling, Aguero, you're probably going to be getting a share of the goals. Probably not going to get all of them. Might get one each, maybe 2 each.
Yeah.
And then KDB's probably going to get 1 goal maybe, and then 3 plus assists, something. So KDB
worried.
Might even be the best captain option.
You're so worried. I can hear the worriment in your voice.
Yeah, afraid so.
How easily could you get? I mean, this is why I was so. I'm going to say it, Kieran. I was so turned on by KDB and that game against Tottenham. And he just I was just like, wow, he's back again, and he was playing so well. I've heard a lot of people worry about his injury coming back. Well, if he gets injured, we just take him out again. But I mean, when he's putting he's making these big chances, he's having these shots. Yeah, he's right up there with total points after 4 game weeks with Sterling and Salah. And when he's that much more expensive. Oh, sorry, he's like only 9.7 in price, so I think his price is only going to go up and up.
He's 9.8 now, actually.
9.8 now, okay.
Yeah. All this talk is going to make me probably take a hit from him, isn't it? It's ironic, really, because every single one of my drafts I was talking about, I've said it before, I had KDB and Salah and Sterling and all of my drafts up to the game week 1, and I just at the end I was too worried by Sigurdsson having good fixtures and all these other sort of just, I don't know, just coverage of other teams, and why? Just so annoying. I should have just stuck with my gut of De Bruyne. I knew he looked good, and he's and it's one of those things where I'm like 4 weeks in, I'm like, yeah, I still want him. I want him in the 5th week. I don't want to take a hit, so maybe I won't get him this week. Do I get him the week after? Is there someone else that I like? Oh man, maybe I just need to take another hit because I've taken 2 hits in a row. Yeah, maybe it's another trap game. Could be just a 1-0. Could be a Newcastle vs Spurs.
Yeah. Well, I sort of feel a bit the same way with Salah, but I dug my own sort of grave for that one. That I sort of look at it every week and I think, is Salah going to score big this week? I feel like I've got a little bit of coverage with Mane, but the problem is I've sort of come to the conclusion over the last maybe this season, and maybe even like more over the last 2 or 3 weeks with the Salah Mane thing. I don't really believe in coverage in FPL point of view. I don't think coverage is a thing anymore. You want players that are going to score points. You don't want players that might score points to cover a big scoring player. I don't really know why I've ever really thought of that as a concept, because it just doesn't exist.
No, I agree.
And yeah, so anyway, that's sort of by the by. So I don't think you can really cover Silva with Aguero as my rounding point there. One player you and I both have sort of not even considered or not talked about much on the show yet. He's the highest point scorer in the game after 4 game weeks is Aguero. 10 shots in the box, 4 big chances, highest XG in the league per 90 minutes, averaging 3.3 shots in the box per game. He's looking good again this season. But Jesus is back from injury now.
Yep.
Does that worry you a little bit? Oh, not sorry. Does not worry. I mean, you're not an owner, but I mean, as a potential investment there. I mean, people have been talking about tripling up on City in the front, but
I think he'll probably go back to what we started to see around Game Week 4 last year, 60 minutes, and then Jesus will come on. So if he can get his customary goal, like he was doing for most of us when we owned him in those 60 minutes, then great. But obviously, this fixture, you're looking at probably 2-3 goals from him. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Triple captain, not out the question for Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, any of these guys. To be honest. So yeah, I think KDB will probably get 70 minutes as well. I imagine Sterling plays the full minutes. Like, there is the question of him playing 2 times 90 in international, but I think we've looked in it before. Like that he's only been rested once. After an international Sterling anyway, and that was October 2018, and he's played the full 90s in the rest, so not too worried about Sterling. Aguero, I think, like I said, will probably play 60, then he'll get a bit of a rest, probably start in Champions League against Shakhtar away, get 60 minutes and go from there. But yeah, any of them this week are good. To be honest, if you pick Aguero, KDB, Sterling, Salah, Mane for captain, all of them are right choices.
And Mendy's back too, Kieran.
I spoke about this on Twitter as well. I just think Zinchenko's place to lose. Mendy's been a walking injury for 2 years. I don't think he comes back in straight away when Zinchenko's been playing so well. Why would he just drop him instantly? Makes no sense to me. But obviously I don't know how Pep works, but Zinchenko to carry on for the time being, in my opinion. I think Mendy will play Champions League. That's my thoughts, actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think League Cup's starting again soon, so maybe Mendy will be worked back into the squad there.
Cancelo and Mendy to play Champions League on Wednesday next week.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday next week. Should we switch over and start talking about the games on Sunday and Monday? Is that everything you want to say about City? I feel like we could do it like a whole separate show on City and Liverpool.
No, to be honest, let's move on.
All right, so Sunday lunchtime is down on the south coast. Everton are travelling down to Bournemouth. You've got Callum Wilson still. He's been such a consistent point returner. Their fixtures look good too. Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Arsenal in the next 4. How confident are you in Wilson? His price has obviously dropped a little bit, but he's a bit of a differential now. Yeah,
he's down to under 10% owned, which I think he's dropped about 20% since the start of the season. So we've seen he can do it before. We know how good he is, and he can be streaky, and he's usually just a season keeper, isn't he? To be honest, But at the same time, Wilson out is practically the only way I can possibly get KDB. So I would love to keep Wilson. I really, really would. But at this point, I'm not sure. Like, it's the conundrum is my team is like, can Wilson, Pookie, Haller, Mount sort of get enough points to, counter the KDB points from this weekend? And I think maybe they could between them. Callum Wilson's got 5 points per game average so far. Yeah, and he's looking like Everton at home could be a good fixture for them. I don't know. It's such a hard one for me.
What do you think about Fraser then from or any of the other Bournemouth players? Because they have got a good run here. Is anyone you'd sort of be recommending to anyone? I think Harry Wilson's looked good. Fraser obviously chipped in with that assist.
I think Fraser is probably one to keep an eye on if he starts getting back to what he was like before. Obviously, we saw Wilson, Fraser assist in the last game. Who'd they play again? Do you remember?
Bournemouth. That's a really good question, Kieran.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
God, it feels like 5 years ago that we played game week 4.
They played.
Oh gosh, I want to try and remember it before you get there. They played it. It wasn't the City game, was it?
No,
because City played Brighton.
Should I tell you?
Yeah, go on then.
It was Leicester. Yeah, Leicester away. So yeah, he's 5 so far, and Everton at home feels like he could get something. Obviously, I'm playing him against Digne, which is frustrating. So there's another issue of me possibly taking out Wilson to get KDB. I don't have that worry of people playing each other. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about Everton then while you ponder Callum Wilson, because I think their fixtures are still looking really tasty. So they've played one Big Six side from last season, and next 6, and that's Man City at home. Their attacking output's questionable though. I know they stuck 3 past Wolves, but they've only had 12 shots on target this season. That's the second worst of all teams. When you consider they've got players like Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Bernard, Theo Walcott, Moise Kean. They've got some good players in their attacking lineup.
Iwobi as well.
Yeah, Iwobi, that's true. Yeah, he got the header, didn't he? But yeah, it seems like they're not creating a lot of chances, but the chances they do create are fairly decent. So they've had 5 big chances in the last 4, which is the 6th best in the league. So despite them not having many shots, it seems like they're having good ones. I'm actually a little bit interested in Richarlison, despite their sort of low attacking output. So he's got 2 goals from those 3 shots against Wolves. I think compared to other mids under 9.5 million, he's the 4th for shots and joint top for big chances created. He's low ownership, 7%. He's dropped 0.1 in price since the start of the season. Actually, he's a player, if Martial is out, that I'm really strongly considering him or Trossard for the next 2 fixtures before I probably go for Mount in game week 7. I just feel like these next 2 against the Bournemouth side that have looked so leaky so far this season, away from home and at home, their defence is suspect. I think Richarlison could be due. Good run at the moment.
Yeah, there's probably goals in this game. I know we said it before, and then sometimes there isn't. But 2-2, something like that could be happening here. Hopefully with Digne 2 assists, that'd be great. Obviously he got 5 points last week, didn't he, Digne, with his fake clean sheet and with yellow card. He's still returning, even despite they're not getting the clean sheets. I think he's a season keeper, isn't he, Digne? Anyone that went Coleman tried to be smart.
That's the thing about coverage again. It's not a cover.
It just wasn't working out. Digne's clearly the better player. Clearly loves to take shots. His shots are, his XG is not great for them because he's taking them in tough positions for outside the box and sort of stuff. But those free kicks are always there for him. Corners, worth keeping all season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And Dean's not leaving my team.
Unless the fixtures get really bad. But at the end of last season, the fixtures were really bad, and they kept loads of clean sheets.
Exactly. So I think he's got the potential to be a season mainstay in my team. But let's see. All right, do you want to move on now? Watford, Arsenal.
Yes.
Second last game of the game week. We're doing really well for time tonight. I mean, you can tell we haven't spoke about FPL for 2 weeks because we're on it tonight. All right, Watford against Arsenal, the Super Sunday game. New manager bounce you've got written down. They're going back.
Can we even call it a new manager? I mean, it's. I don't know. I liked Kiko Flores or whatever he was. I liked him when they
he was all right,
had him last time. So, maybe that could be a way to more points, but their fixtures are really, really bad, aren't they? So Arsenal at home this weekend, obviously, and then Man City away, terrible. Wolves away, which is obviously really difficult too. Sheffield United at home, you'd probably expect them to do something there, and then Tottenham away. So the next 5 are really tough. 4 of those 5 are probably losses. So is this new manager going to be sacked in after the Tottenham game? Maybe.
I think that in a way I feel like it's a good time to get him in now because they're probably not expected to win any of these games, and anything he does get from them is a bit of a bonus. And when their fixtures brighten up a little bit, hopefully we'll have had some time with the team to sort them out. But like you say, it's only Sheffield United in that next 5 that look like a 3-pointer.
But imagine hiring a manager to expect to not win any in the next 5.
Yeah, true.
You just that's just so awful. You're going to be feeling really, really bad.
But I don't know, what do they really realistically expect? They just sack someone, the team's going to be changed, and the formation's going to be changed, the personnel that make up the team is obviously going to be changes within the squad, so yeah, it's not going to be like a seamless transition to winning, so I think they're going to expect like a little bit bumpy, especially after 4 game weeks as well. I mean, he's not had a pre-season or anything. So
didn't Gracia get them to like their best like finish in ages as well? So
he may have done the season before last, yeah.
Sure, but that just feels really strange to me that he's had great seasons or best finish for them, and then he's had 4 bad games at the start and he's sacked. It's just.
I feel like it's gone on longer than that though. I think they've been bad since like February. I think they'd had a really poor record. I mean, I haven't got the numbers written down, but I feel like it was like relegation form since about February. It was something like 37 points 28 points in 27 games or something like that. They were averaging like a point a game, so I mean it's not great, but
maybe Delafeu will become an option again. We've got players here, and I've put nothing here, literally written nothing, as in there's no one to really look at. But maybe Jerry D can be good eventually, but the next 5 definitely not worth it. I wouldn't say have anyone from Watford, I'm afraid.
Well, let's talk about Arsenal then, because they've got some really good fixtures. So they play one top 6 side from game week 5 to game week 17, which is United away. So that's a winnable fixture for them. Watford conceded 3 in the last 3 home games, and Arsenal scored over 2.5 in their last 3 games. So it looks like there's goals on the cards for Arsenal because, as we know, they're loaded at the front and not so much at the back. I've sort of had a look at Pepe and how he compares with other premium midfielders, because I feel like as he's 9'4", I want to compare him upwards rather than downwards. So compared to every premium asset over 9.4 million, he has actually shot top 4 shots per 90 minutes, considering I've measured it in that metric because he's obviously not played in the first 4. But 4.4 shots per 90 minutes is great. But it seems like he's taken the majority of these outside the box. So he's 2.58 shots outside the box, which is the most of all 9.4 million or above players, and 4.43 touches in the box per 90 minutes is the least as well. So he doesn't look like he's like, you're saying love that, are you?
Yeah, I like him.
Oh, do you? But that seems like not good to me, that he's taking too many shots outside the box and he's not getting in the box. That would suggest to me that he's just winging it, shooting from distance, and they're not good chances.
Maybe, but he passes the eye test. So
okay, yeah. Well, I have got written down he's fun to watch. I mean, when you say you're really excited about and you love him, would you get him? Who would you get him in your team over, or would you just like to appreciate him from afar?
Well, obviously, I would still value De Bruyne higher, but I was looking at possible wildcard drafts for me this week of just having him and De Bruyne and Sterling and Mane / Salah, and it's difficult, but owning him as well is could be something really, really nice, because he's like 3.7% owned or something, and those fixtures of the next few are crazy good. So the name of the game is getting on players before they explode, and it looks like 4.4 shots per game, that's great. Majority outside the box, but you could score outside the box. So I only think he's going to get better, and I think he's going to explode soon. So
I can sort of see that happening too, and I also think that he's probably, despite what I say about his stats, I think he is the best option of the Arsenal front 3 forwards, because he is a speciality sort of wide player, whereas Aubameyang is, whilst he's not in and out of the team, he's in and out of that centre forward role, and his stats drop off so much when he's played wide. And in other games, Emery likes to change his team around. He'll play Lacazette through the middle, or sometimes Lacazette will get benched. I feel like Pepe is the one constant who will always play wide in this team in his natural position. So from that point of view, I feel like he's the best of the 3. Obviously, he's having this many shots, and he's going to get an extra point for goals and an extra point for the clean sheets, although they won't get many. I think Pepe, of all the Arsenal players, would be my pick for their great run.
Like I said last week, they're playing a front 3, right? So with Aubameyang on the left and Pepe on the right, they're practically playing the same position. Pepe's cheaper, and he's a midfielder getting extra points. Like, to me, that seems like you can spend, what is it, 1.5 extra or 2.5 million or something like that. Extra on other players, and I think Pepe's great. Even Ceballos, it looks like he's probably going to be a good option over these fixtures. He looked good when he came on. He's benched obviously against Spurs, which was kind of strange, but he looked good when he came on, made them look a bit better, and yeah, he's played well for Spain in the international break, and yeah, I think he's probably going to play the rest of these games.
I mean, for me, it's funny. I've not written much down about him, but I'm just sort of watching him from afar at the moment. I feel like because in his career, it's probably a really bad reason to not consider him as an option, but because of how he's performed in his career to date, I don't really see him as like a goals or an assist machine because he's not really done it. I mean, the 2 assists he got versus Burnley are the ones which sort of turned everyone onto him.
I mean, is he any different to someone like Mount, and he's cheaper? Like,
yeah, I feel
he's
like
probably going to get an assist every other game, something like that, maybe a goal. Like that's Mount area, and everyone loves Mount. So
yeah, I'd say he's more McGinn area.
Okay.
Because I suppose the price is a little bit more similar. But yeah, in terms of playstyle, he's probably similar to Mount, but I don't see him as getting forward as much. And I also think I don't know if we'd be talking about it so much if he hadn't have picked up those 2 assists against Burnley. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I mean, he got an assist from a corner, didn't he, which Lacazette did a lot with, and then scored. And then he passed the ball to Aubameyang, who beat like a man and scored from like 18 yards. So it wasn't wasn't like they were really great assists, if that makes sense. So I suppose you get what you pay for at 7,
who was it he started against who he looked really poor, like really out of value?
Liverpool, maybe.
Sorry, say that again.
Liverpool. When he played
Liverpool, that was it. Yeah. So, yeah, he looked really bad in that game. So,
I think most people would, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's got the fixtures to shine, possibly. Yeah. So.
All right, should we move on to the last game of the game week? We're there. It's Monday night. You're going to be so excited for this one because it's your boy Halle up against Villa. Talk to me a little bit about Halle because it looks like he's playing well. I think he's 4th for XG of all forwards, despite playing a whole game less. You've jumped on him really early. You've already reaped some rewards there.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him. He looks the real deal, doesn't he? I'm just happy to own him. He's got great fixtures. If I go back up to the comparison with Jimmy, Haller's shots were 9, on target 6, big chances 4, XG of 2.33. goals of 3 and XA of 0.48, and that's all compared to Jimmy and Abraham. His stats are better or just below those two with a whole game less. Their team XG overall is 3rd best, I think, kind of only just below Liverpool. So yeah, with Lanzini, Yarmolenko, all those guys, and Anderson all looking like they're providing Halle, who looks like the complete main man. He's involved in everything. I think, there's only goals and assists to come from him, to be honest. And he should have even had more points. He should have had a 14-point haul for that assist, and he would get more bonus in the for the penalty in the game before. So, yeah, I'm super happy to own, and he's like really low owned at like 3% ish, I think.
Yeah, it is low. It's still quite low. I think it's gone up a little bit
actually, but yeah, great. Someone with the stats like that, I cannot complain for owning him. I'm looking forward to him.
Yeah, their fixtures are super good as well. So after Villa, they've got United at home, Bournemouth away, Palace at home, Everton away. So, I mean, they're looking really strong. Even that United game, I wouldn't be surprised that he picked up a goals on that. And also, I think the benefit of having Haller is he's got creative players who aren't really goal scorers in behind him. Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Anderson maybe is the most sort of prolific, I suppose, of all of those. But really, they're going to be feeding him. Yep. And even someone like Snodgrass who's going to come and take set pieces, put in a good delivery. I feel like he's a good link player, target man. He looks the real deal. But I want to watch him in the game against Villa. I just feel like at the moment, I would rather have 3 up top like you have than sort of have him over Barnes or Pukki. I feel like after Pukki's game against City, they've got great fixtures, and I feel like Barnes has got great fixtures too. So I feel like it's 3 good mid-range forwards at the moment. So, and I'm sure they're all going to score similarly.
I mean, even on Wildcard, I looked at just having him.
Did you? Okay.
And I think it worked quite well because it lets you have Sterling, KDB, Mount, Salah, all those decent guys. So, if he does well in this game, then he could just be a set and forget all season.
Yeah. So what are we saying about Villa then?
I mean, the only player I've really got down here is Mings, who's looking decent for BPS amongst defenders. And if they get a clean sheet, then he'll get bonus. Like I said earlier, Montoya, he rotates well with Brighton. So, yeah, not bad. their XGC is 13th overall, which is kind of middle of the road of 6.74. And their XG as a team across 4 weeks is 16th, 4.35, 4 goals scored. So both of their expected stats are pretty much where they should be, and they look like they're destined to be a mid-table team, to be honest. Yeah. At least they're going to stay up, which Birmingham fans are obviously, or people in Birmingham are obviously going to be happy about. But yeah, I don't know. I expect there's goals in this game, to be honest. Do you think McGinn or Grealish or Wesley will do anything?
The jury's still out a little bit on Grealish in terms of goals output, and McGinn same as well. Like he takes a lot of shots from outside the box. He scores some worldies. He works hard. I was really keen on him after the first 2 game weeks, but the more I sort of see of him, I know he's still cheap, but I don't know if I'd want him starting in my team. I think I'd rather have someone like Cantwell in there. But
this could be a West Ham 2-0 win, like a 2-0 or something.
I think this is a really tough one to call because they beat Everton at home, didn't they, with a gritty performance?
Well, like West Ham kept a clean sheet against Norwich, which we didn't expect with Pukki looking so good. So, I don't see a reason for West Ham not to be able to keep out Wesley and Grealish, but I don't think their attack is that great. So.
No, it's definitely one I really want to watch because I want to see how Haller gets on. I want to see what Aston Villa's attack is like. It's a shame I haven't watched more of Villa really to make a decision on them or even free up a slot, because I think this is now the time to get on them for a little differential if you fancy, because they've got 3 home games in the next 5. That's West Ham, Burnley and Brighton. And then the 2 away games are away game against Arsenal and Norwich, which I think they'll treat the Arsenal game like a free hit. I mean, Terry going back to Arsenal is going to stir up some shit there. And then that game against Norwich. So I feel like they've got the potential in these next 5 to pick up some points. It's just where they're going to come from. My bet would probably be on McGinn. But even then I can't. I
think if you've got Heaton as well, he's probably going to do well for saves in this game. And possible clean sheet, I guess. I hope not, obviously. But yeah, I think he'll do well for saves at least.
Yeah, cool. All right. Should we wrap up by just talking about captaincy, our Cougar Cub picks, and clean sheets and transfer? I mean, captaincy. We talked about it quite a bit earlier in the show, but really, what are you thinking?
So mine's between Salah and Sterling. I've got a quick per 90 minutes comparison between the two. So points for Salah is FPL points per game, 9 points versus 9.25 for Sterling. Goals 3 versus 5. XG of 0.79 versus 0.78, so pretty much exactly the same. And expected points, goals and assists of 5.92 per game versus 5.93. So basically exactly the same between them both. So unfortunately, everyone's that's probably has asked us questions about Salah or Sterling. So it's not clear cut in any way, especially according to the stats. And then you look at the fixture, you can see that obviously Norwich have a terrible defence. They're all cut up with injuries. City look great for defence, so Sterling obviously wins on that one, I think. Obviously the Newcastle fixture's good as well, so there's a toss-up there. But you're probably slightly favouring the Norwich bad defence because obviously they're 19th in XG overall. And then you've got to think about international, the 90 minutes sort of for Sterling. Salah's been rested. There's Champions League for both of them coming up. We've sort of discussed that before. I think I'm leaning towards Sterling, just for maybe slightly more explosive. I hope I don't get this toss-up wrong because I've got it wrong every time so far.
We got it right once, didn't we? Game week 2.
Well, no. Actually, no, I don't think I have. I think every time... They've been good captains, but every time the other one has scored more.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so...
Well, I'm because I don't have Salah, this decision's made a little bit easier for me. It was just deciding between whether it's going to be Sterling or De Bruyne with the captaincy and Mane with the vice. But I'm probably going to stick with Sterling. I think he's just looking so good. Even if he comes on for a bit against Norwich, then I think he could do something against tired legs. So, yeah, I think I'm going to keep Sterling.
Yeah, and I think Sterling's had, is it 3 goals, 3 assists or something in the international break or something like that? Yeah. Was it 2 goals, 4 assists, something like that? I haven't written it down, sorry. But yeah, he's been on fire. It's hard to deny how good he looks at the moment. Obviously blank last week, but would not expect a blank here. If he gets a blank and everyone else smashes it, I'll be very mad.
Yeah. But... all right, should we talk about our Cougar Cub picks? I think it's your go to go first. The start of September's Cougar Cub picks.
Okay, I've got two written down again.
I've got such a good one. But you go, yeah.
Okay, so am I allowed to pick who I've picked before?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go Pepe again.
Okay.
3.7% owned, Watford away. I hope he does well. I hope they don't have that manager bounce. Obviously, Arsenal are definitely not as good away, but I think counter-attacky sort of style will suit Pepe. So, like against Liverpool. So, fingers crossed.
I like Pepe. Well, I'm going to go for Mahrez. I think Bernardo Silva played both games for Portugal. And Mahrez has played a lot more this season. I think Pep realises he's got to start playing him because what's his name? Sane's out. So I could feel like some big Mahrez points coming on against in that 6-0
I figured
thumping
Mahrez
of
would play
Norwich.
Champions League. But,
he could play in the league because he's had a rest, hasn't he?
Yeah, true. My other one I wrote down was Firmino at 12% owned. Obviously Newcastle at home, and his stats look great. So maybe Firmino's the one that gets all the points compared to Mane and Salah this week.
We've not really mentioned Firmino tonight, but he's looked really good this season. He's racked up a lot of points.
He has.
All right, I'm sure we'll mention them next week. Cool. We've been talking nearly 2 hours.
No, we haven't.
No, it feels like it.
So clean sheets?
Hour and 20 minutes. Clean sheets. Well, I'm probably going to say Liverpool, begrudgingly, because you've got the double up there, and I don't think I'm going to do it. But Liverpool there. Other than that, maybe Burnley.
I've got Man United written down.
Have you? Oh, God.
Yeah, and then I've got Norwich with a smiley face.
Oh, that's cute. Oh,
can you imagine?
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? For Norwich, not for us.
The absolute uproar in the community if Norwich keep a clean sheet.
Be awful. I wonder what it'd be a good stat to know when the last time Man City didn't score in a Premier League game was. I'm just trying to think. Did they draw 0-0? Oh, did they?
Palace or the Leicester game that they lost last year.
Yeah, I wonder if they scored in that. I know they didn't score in that 0-0 against Liverpool last season. But anyway, so maybe it isn't that long at all. All right. Okay. Have we got anything more to add?
Transfers for your transfers?
My transfers. Yeah, cool. So Yotta's going. Barnes is going to come in. And I think I'm going to hold on to the second one and just keep giving myself 2. So I think I'm going to play Lundstrom, leave Wan-Bissaka on the bench. If Wan-Bissaka is injured and he'd be out for a few weeks, I might get rid of him.
So what about Martial?
If Martial, I'm basing my transfers on the fact he's going to be fine based on what Ollie said before the international break. If he's out, it's either going to be Richarlison or Trossard for 2 weeks. And one of those two will then become Mount so I can get Mane to Salah back. So anyway, there you go.
Okay. Nice. Like it.
Thank you.
Mine is either A, roll it.
How many have you got at the moment? 1?
Yeah, just 1, unfortunately, because I've taken hits 2 weeks in a row. So, yeah, it's just whether my Callum Wilson, Mount, Pookie, Haller, etc. can sort of score enough to match up to KDB this week, basically. Or the other option is Wilson to a 4.5 million striker and Mount to KDB for a hit.
Wouldn't that really mess up your team structure?
It would mean just playing Lundstrom this week, which is not terrible. I don't mind that at all, obviously.
What would that mean most weeks? Would that mean most weeks you have to play 5-3, 5-3-2?
It means Lundstrom and Cantwell and Dendoncker fighting for that last spot, basically.
Okay.
Which, I'm not a fan of, to be honest. But I don't think it's the worst thing because, Lundstrom this week is decent. Obviously, Norwich after City have got great fixtures, so I can play Cantwell with Pookie. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's just whether I take another hit because I've taken 8 hits. Sorry, -8 in 2 weeks previously.
Yeah.
This would be -12 already in 5 weeks.
It seems like a lot, doesn't it?
It does seem like a lot. Even though the hits have paid off, and it probably will pay off this week as well because Lundstrom will probably get a clean sheet and KDB will probably go crazy.
But it's always the risk,
or it's something like a -8, where it's a Pookie out instead to a 4.5 million striker and Mounts to KDB and VVD to Matip. So I keep the double up in defence, but just get rid of Pookie instead of Wilson because I like Wilson going forward. So
you've got a lot to mull over, Kieran.
Oh God, I know it's tough. Maybe I should have just wildcarded and not had to worry about this, but I'm trying to keep it to week 8. But yeah, shout out in the comments what you think I should do. I think I'm 50-50 on Roll or Wilson out for KDB.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it wraps it up, doesn't it? Because I've got nothing more to add. Have you?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking we haven't done cub picks, but we have. So
we've done cub picks. Mahrez is bagging a hat-trick, remember?
Yeah.
All assisted by KDB. Right then, thank you to everyone for joining us. Long one tonight because we're just getting back into it, aren't we? We're finding our groove again. We'll be back next week with our game week 6 preview. If you've got any questions in the meantime, holler at us on our YouTube channel. Drop them in the comments or follow us at FPL Cougars on Twitter, and we'll try and answer as many from you as possible. Right, so until next week, have a great game week. Try not to stress too much about the captaincy, all your transfers, Kieran and everyone else. Right, so goodbye from me.
Cheers and good luck, everyone.
Bye, everyone.